Okay, hi. Well, this time I won't do a dress, but actually an outfit inspired by this screenshot out of an Ariana Grande music video from One Last Time. Because I saw this screenshot and was like, oh, I need that jacket. So I came up with this pattern. This, what you see right here, is the pattern for the inside, and this is for the outside fabric, which will be out of a trash bag. You heard that right. So I kind of ran out of fabrics that I found in my house. So I was like, you know what? How about just using a trash bag for the fabric? And it actually worked out quite well. Wow, who would have guessed? And for the inside, I'm using again black bedding to make the inside a little bit softer because the trash bag is obviously not very comfortable. So for the inside, I will use bedding. And well, hope you have fun. Enjoy! Well, and again, we start with cutting out the different pieces. And as I've shown you the patterns, I haven't written any measurements down because those are specific measurements for my body type. If you would want to recreate this, you would have to measure your own body. I thought that was pretty clear. But the difference between the outside fabric and the inside fabric is that the outside fabric pieces are a little bit larger because I initially wanted to flip the lower part of the pieces over so that it's that the black fabric doesn't come right to the bottom of the jacket, but it didn't really work out well, but that was my intention. That's why the patterns for the outside fabric are a little bit larger. But well, these are the inside fabric pieces, and we go on with ironing them down, which looks so satisfying. First it's all wrinkly, and then you go over it, and then it's fucking smooth. Love it. After ironing the black fabric down, I've started sewing the pieces together, and I've started with the hood of the trash bag, out of the trash bag fabric. And for the outside fabric, I sewed that way the seam is on the inside. And for the black fabric, the seam of the hood will be on the outside, so when I sew those pieces together, there won't be any seam. And that's pretty much the concept for the whole jacket. And I pretty much just sewn first the trash bag jacket and then separately the black jacket, and then I've combined the two at the neckline. Well, not the neckline, but the seam that goes around your neck, so that the two jackets are somewhat pulled together. And yeah. This is what I end up with, two separate jackets pretty much, and then I will continue sewing them together. Well, in case you wondered what this little compartment was for, it is for holding the batteries for the LEDs, And for the cable, I pretty much just cut a hole through the inside and the outside fabric so that the cable won't bother anyone, it won't be too obvious. This little thingy thing on the other hand is the little loop or hood for the top part of the zipper so that it looks nicely and neat. Okay, now on to the sleeves. I started sewing together the end parts of the sleeves and then flipping them right sides out pretty much. And after that I continued sewing the trash fabric that will be on the outside first, and then I sewn the black fabric, but pretty much you are able to see the seam, pretty obvious, but as the black fabric is there on the inside, I thought it wouldn't be too much of a deal. Well, this is the first jacket I've ever made, so I don't really know how to make the sleeves, but it sort of worked, so I'm happy with it. This is how the jacket looks like once I've got the first sleeve down, and you can tell I'm pretty excited about it because it sort of worked. They're a little bit short though, so I will keep that in mind for my next jacket. For the end parts of the jacket, I had some cables and broken earphones, so I thought, why not just sewing them in? Because otherwise I would have sewn some elastics into them, but I didn't really feel that, so I've sewn cables into them, and I think it looks quite cool. And this is how the jacket looks once I've finished sewing everything. This is where the cable comes out of the armpit, pretty much, where I will attach it to the LEDs, which we are doing now. Well, I'm pretty much... I first wanted some different LEDs, pretty much just an LED string. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. Well, not these separate LEDs, but one continuous LED string, because that would have been a little bit more cleaner than this, but I'm still happy with it. I think it looks quite cool, and they also fit with my LED shoes. For the pants, because, well, I couldn't just walk around in a jacket because there would be something missing. Well, I had these washed out black jeans from my father, and they were a little bit too big for me, so I had to fit them to my body. And then, well, my attempt was that I would cut some holes out for the knees and then sew some nets into them because that would look cool, I figured. And I wanted to also sew some fabric pieces around the nets to some geometrical forms, like squares and shit, to kind of accentuate the knee area a little bit. And then I will also paint some faces onto the fabric with bleach. So you're in for a ride. I've also sewn some elastics into the legs of the jeans to make them a little bit more jogger style and not too much jean style, if you know what I mean. For painting the faces, I've used some cleaning materials I found in our bathroom because they have a bleaching effect, so that worked. And I pretty much just taken a brush and then I put the brush into the bleaching stuff, and then I've painted the bleaching stuff onto the pants. However, it was a little bit tricky because the bleaching effect wasn't instant, so I had to wait a little bit until it showed up, and I wasn't really able to see where I've painted, so that was tricky. But it eventually worked out. You just have to have a little bit of patience, and well, then it will work. In combination with some awkward posing, here you see how the jeans turned out, and I'm really, really fucking happy with them. Well, and here we fucking are again at the end. Thanks for sticking through until now. And I've paired this outfit with my LED shoes because they just go with it because they're just made for each other. And I hope you had fun.